Hey guys, Mr.Saldivar here again for another round of digital theater. So we're going to start with our one-word check-in. So wherever you are, go ahead and find a seat, find yourself still, and go ahead and close your eyes. Take a breath in, let it out. I want you to take this time to think about your day from the moment that you woke up to the moment that you walked in this room. Maybe this is the last thing you're doing today. Maybe this is the first thing you're doing today. All the things that led up to today. And then I want you to come up with one word to describe your day. The word can be any word that you like, as long as that word is school appropriate. When you have it, go ahead and open your eyes. A couple more seconds. Here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Silly. All right, go ahead and put your hands out. Take all the good stuff, grab it, hold on to it, squeeze it in, don't let it go. All bad stuff, throw it in the middle, swish it down, put it into a nice, neat little snowball in. Right here, we're gonna feed it to the llama on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, hoocha. Before we hop into the lesson, it's time for the Tony Awards. First off, I've got a brother-sister duo, Mia and Giovanni, who are throwing away their drama, and Giovanni made a little bulldozer costume. Awesome job, both of you. Next up, we have Matthew from Miss Lacrone's class, who made this awesome soldier costume. Great job, Matthew. Back from week 1, we have Catherine from Miss Vogel's class, who made this awesome puppet, and hopefully did some dancing too. Last up, we have Marcelo, who made this awesome ghost costume, and he sent me a video. Awesome job, Marcelo. Congratulations to all our Tony winners. Awesome job, guys. If you want to be featured in next week's Tony Awards segment, make sure you send me a photo or a copy of your work. This week, we're going to do something called a pantomime, which is a way you express yourself as an actor only using your body. Here's an example. You probably guessed that I was brushing my teeth, right? Actors do this all the time to get more expressive with their bodies, and we're going to use a book to pantomime along with, which is one of my favorites. It's called Mirette on the High Wire. So we're going to read the book first, and after that, we'll hop into a pantomime. Mirette on the High Wire by Emily Arnold McCulley. "100 years ago in Paris, when theaters and music halls drew traveling players from all over the world, the best place to stay was at the Widow Gâteau, a boarding house on English Street. Acrobats, jugglers, actors, and mimes from far away as Moscow and New York reclined on the widow's feathered mattresses and devoured her kidney stews. Madame Gâteau worked hard to make her guests comfortable, and so did her daughter, Mirette. The girl was an expert at washing linens, chopping leeks, paring tomatoes, and mopping floors. She was a good listener, too. Nothing pleased her more than to overhear the vagabond players tell of their adventures in this town and that along the road. One evening, a sad-faced stranger arrived. He told Madame Gâteau he was Bellini, a retired high-wire walker. "I am here for a rest," he said. "I have just the room for you, Monsieur Bellini, in the back, where it is quiet," she said. "But it's on the ground floor, with no view." "Perfect," said the stranger. "I will take my meals alone." The next afternoon, when Mirette came for the sheets, there was a stranger walking across the courtyard on air. Mirette was enchanted. All the things that people could do, this must be the most magical. Her feet tingled as if she wanted to jump up on the wire beside Bellini. Mirette worked up the courage to speak. "Excuse me, Monsieur Bellini, I wanted to learn to do that," she cried. Bellini sighed. That would not be a good idea, he said. Once you start, your feet are never happy on the ground. Oh, please teach me, Mirette begged. My feet are already unhappy on the ground. But he shook his head. Mirette watched him every day. She would slide his feet onto the wire, cast his eyes ahead, and without ever looking down, as if in a trance. Finally, she couldn't resist it any longer. When Bellini was gone, she jumped up on the wire to try it herself. Her arms flailed like windmills. In a moment, she was back on the ground. Bellini made it look so easy. Surely she could do it if she kept trying. In 10 tries, she balanced one foot for a few seconds. In a day, she managed 3 steps without wavering. Finally, after a week of many, many falls, she walked the length of the wire. She couldn't wait to show Bellini. He was silent for a long time. Then he said, "In the beginning, everyone falls. Most give up. But you kept trying. Perhaps you have talent as well." "Oh, thank you," said Mirette. She got up 2 hours earlier every day to finish her chores before the sun shone in the courtyard. The rest of the day was for lessons and practice. Bellini was a strict master. "Never stray your eyes," he told her day after day. "Think only of the wire and crossing to the other end." When she could cross a dozen times without falling, he taught her the wire walker's salute. Then she learned to run, lie down, and turn a somersault. "I will never fall again," Mirette shouted. "Do not boast," Bellini said, so sharply that Mirette lost her balance and had to jump down. One night, an agent from Astley's Hippodrome in London rented a room. He noticed Bellini on his way to dinner. "What a shock to see him here!" he exclaimed. "See who?" asked a mime. "Why, the great Bellini! Didn't you know he was in the room in the back?" "Bellini? The one who crossed Niagara Falls on a 1,000-foot wire in 10 minutes?" asked the mime. "And on the way back, he stopped in the middle to cook an omelette on a full stove of live coals. Then he opened up a bottle of champagne and toasted the crowd," the agent recalled. "My uncle used to talk about that," said a juggler. "Bellini crossed the Alps with a basket tied to his feet, fired a cannon over the bull ring in Barcelona, walking a flaming wire, wearing a blindfold in Naples. The man has the nerves of an iceberg," the agent said. Mirette raced to Bellini's room. "Is it true?" she cried. "You did all of those things? Why didn't you tell me? I want to do them too. I want to go with you." "I cannot take you," said Bellini. "But why not?" asked Mirette. Bellini hesitated a long time. "Because I am afraid," he said at last. Mirette was astonished. "Afraid?" she said. "But why?" "Once you have fear on the wire, it never leaves," Bellini said. "But you must make it leave," Mirette insisted. "I cannot," said Bellini. Mirette turned and ran into the kitchen as tears sprang from her eyes. She had felt such joy on the wire. Now Bellini's fear was like a cloud casting its dark shadow on all the things she had learned from him. Bellini paced his room for hours. It was terrible to disappoint Mirette, but by dawn He knew if he didn't face his fears at last, he could not face Mirette. He knew what he must do. The question was, could he succeed? That night, when the agent returned, Bellini was waiting for him. The agent listened to Bellini's plan with mounting excitement. "I'll take care of everything," he promised. To himself he added, "and a big crowd will make a tidy profit. What luck I happen to be in Paris now." Bellini went down and found a length of hemp with a steel core, borrowed a winch, and worked until daylight, securing the wire. The next evening, Mirette heard a commotion in the street. "Go and see what it is," her mother said. "Maybe it will cheer you up." In the square, there was a hubbub. The crowd was so thick she couldn't see at first, and the agent was aiming a spotlight at the sky. "Return of the great Bellini!" he was yelling. Could it be? Mirette's heart hammered in her chest. Bellini stepped out onto the wire, saluted the crowd. He took a step and then froze. The crowd cheered wildly, but something was wrong. Mirette knew it at once what it was, and for a moment she was frozen as Bellini was. Then she threw herself at the door behind him and ran up a flight after flight of stairs and out through a skylight to the roof. She stretched her hands to Bellini. He smiled and began to walk towards her. She stepped onto the wire, and with the most intense pleasure, as she had always imagined it might be, she started to cross the sky. "Bravo! Bravo!" roared the crowd. "Protégé of the great Bellini!" shouted the agent. He was beside himself, already planning the world tour of Bellini and Mirette. As for the master and his pupil, they were only thinking of the wire and crossing to the other end. Now we're going to hop into the pantomime. I'm going to be moving along with you guys. You can copy what I'm doing. If you want to go on your own, that's okay too. So let's hop to the living room. So before you begin, you want to make sure you have plenty of space to move. I'm in my living room, but I had to take my coffee table, which is normally right here, and move it out of the way so I have plenty of space to move. Make sure you have plenty of space before you start. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to sit on the floor, crisscross applesauce. I'm not going to sit on the floor because you won't be able to see me, so I'm going to sit on the couch. So find yourself a nice comfy spot. Here we go. Start by taking a deep breath in and letting it out. Take another one in and out. As you close your eyes, I want you to imagine that you are in Paris. As you open your eyes, your mother is calling you for your chores. Mirette! At the beginning of every day, she starts by washing the sheets. Then she starts chopping the leeks, which are kind of like celery. Then she starts to peel the potatoes. And of course, every night she mops the floors. And she does this again every day, washing the linens, chopping the leeks, peeling the potatoes, mopping the floors, washing the sheets, chopping the leeks, peeling the potatoes, mopping the floors, washing the sheets, chopping the leeks, peeling the potatoes, mopping the floors, washing the linens, chopping the leeks, peeling the potatoes, mopping the floors, washing the linens, chopping the leeks, paring the potatoes, mopping the floor, washing the linens, chopping the leeks, peeling the tomatoes, mopping the floor until you stop and you notice a sad-faced man at the door. You keep staring at him and wondering, why is he so sad? Mother comes over and says, "Don't be rude." Your eyes go to the floor. Mother says, "Mirette, please take this man's bags to his room." And you pick up the bag and take it to the back. Find yourself in a seated position. A few days later, you come for the sheets, and you see him again, walking across the sky. You're excited and amazed, and you can't wait to try it for yourself. When he's gone, you sneak up to the wire, and you put one foot out, balance, and fall. But you're going to try it again. So you dust yourself off, stand up, put one foot out on the wire. As you lift your next foot to go, you fall again. And then you know you're going to try it one more time. So you get back up. One, take your other foot, balance it over the front one more time, and you fall. Maybe you can try it one more time. Keep your eyes forward, your back straight, and one foot after another, you start to walk across the wire. You did it! Now you start to have fun. You go back over the wire again. You start to dance on the wire. But from across the courtyard you hear, "Never let your eyes stray. Think only of the wire and crossing to the other end." You straighten your back. You look forward. Your eyes never go to the ground. And you start across the wire. You feel the wind underneath your arms. You're flying. Before you know it, you're on the other end. Bellini looks at you and smiles and says, "You might have talent too." Find yourself back in a seated position. Several days pass, and it's the night of the big show. You see Bellini step out onto the wire, but he freezes. You know what you have to do. Stand up. Position yourself on the wire. eyes forward. Never let your eyes stray. Take a breath and start to walk across the wire. As you start out, Bellini smiles. He walks out on the wire too. You turn to him and you bow. He bows back. The crowd roars. But you can't hear it. Because you're only thinking of the wire. And crossing to the other end. Come back to a seated position. Close your eyes. When you open them again, you'll be back in your house. I hope you guys had fun walking on the wire with Mirette. It's one of my favorite books, and I'm so happy I got to share it with you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye. As always, guys, it's not required, but you can feel free to send me a photo or video of your work. I'd love to see them. It's Nicholas.Saldivar at SarasotaCountySchools.net. See you next week.